Cheese and crackers, it's been a minute. All right. Hello, friends. Long time no see. I moved again, but I'm still sitting on the floor. The lighting still sucks, and I lost the script for the final girl support group, but I did like it. Anyway. So I don't like to quit reading books, but it's just so demoralizing to want to read, and then the book you're reading, you're just like, I don't want to read that book anymore, but I want to read. Oh, what do I do? And the worst part is, I was really looking forward to this book. Sixpence House is a book about books. It takes place in this town called Hay-on-Wye, also called just Hay, which is this tiny little village in Wales. The town of Hay boasts to be the world capital of bookstores. As of this video, there are 14 shops, 2,000 citizens, all in the area less than a kilometer squared, which puts a shop about every 200 feet. Like, what's not to love? And Darius and I, we actually went there on our honeymoon. We went to a bunch of different places in Wales, but we spent an afternoon in Hay-on-Wye. And I could have spent at least another week, just because when I go to bookstores and thrift shops and stuff, I need to look at every single book because maybe the next one I will want. But Darius was telling me, Emily, we can't ship books back home internationally. It's not realistic. But you know what I gotta say to him? Just look at me now. Anyway, so this book. It starts off fairly promising. A married couple with their young son decide to pick up and move from San Francisco to Hay-on-Wye, basically at the drop of a hat. They both really love books, and they're like, let's do this. We're both writers. Let's get into the moment. Let's experience life where books are born and die and all this stuff. Like, okay, wow. A sudden move, an international move, all the changes that come with that, it's got a lot of promise. But then they just like dick around at shops and look at books and talk about books. And about almost like halfway through the book, all that's really happened is, oh, he got a job at one of the shops. How exciting. And I'm like, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Where's the plot? And something that's come up a good handful of times as you're reading is our protagonist is writing a book about early 20th century literature. So whenever something that he's researched comes up and is like related to his thoughts, he'll put in a blurb from a book he's read. Like, I had a conversation and it reminded me of this snippet I read from a journal from like the 1890s, and I'm like, okay, cool. It felt like the author had just done all this research and was just trying to shoehorn as much of it into this book as he can. And I'm like, I'm really glad you did this. I didn't need to know this. Thank you though, I guess. Anyway, I wrote everything previous to this when I was about halfway through the book, just because I was like, I'm just going to give up on this book. I'm just going to write out all my thoughts right now, and I'm going to give up, and I'm going to make a video, and I'm going to move on. But then I did end up finish reading it, and I'm sitting there, I'm laying there, because it's like 2 a.m, and I'm laying in bed, and I have my Kindle, and I'm like, that's it? That's it? Spoiler alert, I collect books, but I still read on my Kindle, because it's smaller, and it's harder for a child to rip a Kindle out of your hands than a paper book. Anyway, I sit there and I'm like, that's it? That's it? They just gave up and moved back to the States? Nothing happened. It's just a book about a guy faffing about in England, Britain, Wales, whatever. Nothing happens. There's all these random tangents that he talks about for pages about British newspapers or chocolates or the struggles you have to go through when you're buying a house. And I'm like, why? But then, okay, so I finished the book. I open my app and I go to like mark that I finished reading the book. And what does it say? But biography and memoir. Of course. This is a book about just hanging out in Wales at this little town because that's all it was ever meant to be. Of course, it has all these meandering side quests, like him applying to be in the House of Lords just because. Because that's what it was, just about him in Wales. If I'd only looked at the cover of the book and thought, our protagonist of this story that happens to be written in first person happens to have the same name as our author. What a crazy coincidence. Media literacy is dead, and I killed it. My next book, I've already decided, because it's Halloween, and who knows, maybe I'll actually record the next video before Halloween, because it's currently October, I look at my watch as if it's there, 21st, 20th? It's Sunday, I know that. I'm going to read The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. I just saw a stage production, and it legitimately was, like, incredible. And I'm not just saying that because two of my friends were in it, but, like, I didn't know stage shows could have jump scares. I'd seen the show ages and ages ago, and I know the story, so I wasn't surprised when stuff happened, but it was so good. Anyway, pretty short. I know the story. I've read it before. Yeah, it's only like 150 something pages. All right, bye.